audio. Let's see. There's the audio. Okay. Can't hear me? I'm sorry. There's so many things over here. There's literally a whole board in here. I forgot to turn the damn board. No sound. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. All right. Let's see. It should be there in just a second. Sorry, dude. I kind of screwed the pooch. This is the first broadcast of the Joe Boo Sports Report's regular live stream using the software, and hopefully it's coming up now. Yes, there you go. Yeah, there's, man, I really should have somebody actually working here and doing the board for me, but unfortunately they tell me don't quit your day job, so I have to try and do all the stuff, and I am literally learning how to use this whole system, and it's cool. It is cool. You can see up here above me. It's not really here, but you guys see it. There's the Joe Boo Sports Report. You see Mark Holmes down in there, and then you have the Joe Boo store that's over in here. It's too low. Okay, let me turn it up a little bit more. Let's see if that's maybe that's a little too much. So we're gonna have to learn how to use this thing exactly right. So forgive me. It'll be getting better. And there's a lot of amazing things we'll be able to do with this, from being able to put clips and everything else, but we'll get there. But before I go ahead and get into all my usual stuff, we need to do a little recap here, and let's go ahead and deal with this. Or maybe not.
Anderson both had over 100 yards rushing on Saturday. Cowboys hung around, at least they tried to, with a little over 2 minutes left to play. Dak Prescott runs in for the score. That cuts the lead to 8. But the Rams wouldn't give the ball back. Jared Goff picks up the 3rd and 7 with his legs. That would seal it. Rams win 30-22. Here's Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott after the loss.
It's been a great season, obviously, just all the ups, all the downs. The team that we had are 3-5 and being counted out by everyone, but backs against the wall mentality, the way we were able to fight just to get to where we are right now is inspiring and incredible. All the men on this team, proud of this team, but anytime you lose, especially when you know the team that we have and as close as we felt we were, it's not a good feeling.
What's it feel like to win a playoff game?
Feels good. Feels good.
Really good?
Real good. Great, actually.
Okay.
But this ain't. We still got one more. Keep winning. We gotta keep winning.
Lights must have been really bright in there, just for his retinas, just to make sure that. CC, what was the key, do you think, for in the Rams win over the Cowboys?
Up front, man, their overall philosophy, they were going to get back. It was nice to see Todd Gurley was healthy, but even beyond that, with C.J. Anderson being added to their roster, you don't think that they're going to take advantage of that and do a run on the Cowboys. We haven't seen anybody run on the Cowboys like that this year. And up front, there were several teams that really transformed their season by getting away from having a bad offensive line. Seattle, the Colts, and the L.A. Rams. In the last 2 years, all these teams have revamped their offensive line, have a different attitude in offensive line. The Rams' offensive line started all the games last year and started every game this season. So their overall continuity coming into this game healthy. Andrew Whitworth, the left tackle led by them, that rushing attack was phenomenal. And when you can play that physical in a playoff game, it makes the game so much easier for the quarterback. We saw that in the Kansas City game. We saw that in this game, where you're not relying on the quarterback to try to lead you to win. It was an old-style football that we hadn't seen all season. It was nice that the Rams were able to adopt that for this playoff win.
And you mentioned when we were talking about the Chiefs that if you'd have told you Pat Mahomes' stat line before and you said the Chiefs would lose. Well, if you told me before the game Dak was going to throw for 266, no picks, a 99 rating, and Goff was going to throw for 180 and a 74 rating, I said, oh, this worked out perfectly for the Cowboys. They must have been getting pressure to Goff. No, they didn't. They didn't get pressure to Goff at all.
Okay, so we have a little stream problem there, and that's enough of that to begin with anyway. Okay, I got to tell you, that game hurt, and I know everybody's pissed off, and everybody wants to, everybody wants their pound of flesh. Everybody wants to go off and just basically blame somebody. And I understand that, because quite frankly, I want to go ahead and go off, but here's the reality. We were a wild card team. We weren't a second seed, a first team, or anything like that. We didn't have a 13-3 season. We were outmatched. We were outcoached. We were just beaten. And sometimes you have games that are just like that no matter what you do. Low sound, but you still hear me anyway. Let me turn it up just a little bit more. This is, forgive me, it's new software, and I have to get used to it and setting it up. Let me try and make sure I don't turn it up too much. Let me make sure it's not peaking out. Hold it. Let me see if that should. Hopefully that's loud enough for you guys. And it. Can you call in? We'll have that. I don't have that set up in this system yet. We'll have that set up next time, and hopefully, let me know if that's as better as far as the sound goes on there. Let me put a little more bass in there. Okay, we're getting the squeaks there. We'll put the headphones back. Hold on. We're going to have to tweak this a little bit more, but we'll get this together. But we all want our pound of flesh. We want somebody to pay. We want to feel better about ourselves because, quite frankly, it sucks. It truly sucks. So, you know, Scott Linehan is in the crosshairs. We started out the morning hearing that Jason Garrett was basically saying, Scott Linehan's coming back. And to most people's surprise, he said that. How do you say Scott Linehan's coming back when we started out as one of, thank you, Alex. Actually, some of it's to the shirt. Not wearing baby tees, as my wife calls it, helps as well. But yeah, I have actually done some by doing a keto diet. And basically sweating it out with the Cowboys, it does that too. But we want to have somebody to be the fall guy. And when we look at the offense and what it didn't do and how simplistic it was, how on fourth down, here it is. We know they're stacking the box. They've been stacking the box all night. Zeke Elliott's not picking up crap in the middle. Yet it's fourth down. The game is literally on the line. We have to go ahead and score to stay in this thing. And what do, Scott Linehan? We end up staying right in the middle, like we always do. Every single time we have gone forward on fourth down or short yards, it's always the same damn play. Why, Scott Linehan? I don't understand this. I don't know why we have this belief in Scott Linehan. Why we believe that this is the guy that can take us to the promised land. Now, then I started thinking about it because then you heard Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones, understand, Stephen Jones is the person you need to pay attention to the most. When he went out and said, Zeke Elliott, you can't be a distraction. I don't care if it's your fault or not. You saw how Zeke Elliott realized, I got to be on the straight and narrow. When he started talking about Dez Bryant, you could see he gets stone-faced. It was cold, and that's why I kept saying, watch. This guy does not like Dez Bryant. He's gone. People told me I was an idiot. You're wrong. They're not going to. I said, I'm telling you, Stephen Jones is the power of the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones is the face of the franchise. He's still got the final say, but he was outvoted on Dez Bryant. Well, thank you. I'm glad, Adrian. Thanks. I appreciate it. Like I said, this is a new system. It's using my Mevo camera. It's using a web camera. Hopefully the sound I got right, but I'm still learning the setup. And hopefully I can learn how to use this better, and in the future when we expand the set, we'll be able to do a lot more things. I like how Michael Anthony Fitness and Law Nation and those guys are able to use a blue screen, but I'm not good enough to be able to use a blue screen to understand exactly how to make all that work and get the graphics. I have to be kind of old school, knock on wood, that I actually have something physical to sit behind and stuff. So I'm kind of putting this whole thing together and trying to make it work and kick out all the bugs and stuff. Do I think Cooper will get re-signed for a few more years? I think Cooper believes he's going to because he got himself a $65,000 diamond-encrusted Dallas Cowboy jersey. If that's not a message right there that I want to be here, I don't know what the heck is. So he's going to be back. So back to Scott Linehan. You heard Stephen Jones go on about free agency. He talked about that and said, listen, We don't believe in signing big-name free agents, okay? We've got our own guys that we got to take care of, you know, Zeke and Dak and, of course, DeMarcus Lawrence and stuff. And, you know, that's not to say we won't sign people, but don't look for us to make major splashes. Lionheart, I don't know how many decades it's going to take, man. I don't know.
As long as that's Scott Linehan, it won't happen.
I don't know. All I know, here's what I know, but we'll get to that. But let me finish with Linehan so I can get him off my screen here. Stephen Jones said nothing about the coaching staff. Jerry Jones, after the game, said nothing to nobody. And here's the thing. When he didn't say anything to anybody after the Redskin game, you know Paul Alexander got fired. How you doing, Connecticut Cowboys? How you doing, Shane? Safi, superstar status. I don't know where Miss Jackie is. Jason P, Christopher, how you guys all doing tonight? So we still haven't heard Jerry Jones talking about saying anybody's safe. We only heard Jason Garrett. And then I started thinking about this. Yeah, Victor, this is my shirt, man. Some of you guys actually ordered some of these, and you should be receiving them, if not already, in the next couple of days if you ordered them. The Power of Four. And when they have the autograph signing coming up, I'm going to make sure that Dak Prescott gets one put into his hand. So hopefully he'll actually like it and want to wear it. Looks like my stream is... I don't know why my YouTube keeps freezing up in here. This is crazy. Okay. Sorry, I'm not seeing the comments. It froze up on me. And let me get the stream so I can see the comments on another one. Yeah, YouTube's been having some issues lately. And I'm not sure what, because some people have been doing live streams and they haven't been notifying people. And here it is. Well, I probably need to do that as well, but it keeps freezing up. Now, my stream going out seems to be okay unless it's frozen out there. And maybe you guys can tell me if it is, because with this setup, I don't have the other feed off of the other computer. Let me do this. We'll go old school here. We'll go through and we'll go this way and see if we got it. Because I'm not seeing it even on this one. Oh, we're hitting the microphone. So, at least this is the first stream that we're doing of the year, so hopefully we'll have this bugs out by Friday. And let's see if we can get it going here. Okay. I should go interview for offensive coordinator. That would be funny. That would be funny. Okay. Yeah, we'll see about that one. Okay, so now I can see myself over here, which is kind of strange. Okay. And all the chats are... Okay, so I got the chats back down there. So we'll go back up here. This is where it would be nice to actually have somebody who would run the board for me. So anybody who wants to volunteer for the Joe Wu Sports Report and be an intern because, well, quite frankly, we're broke. And help a brother out by running the board so that way I could just kind of, you know, talk. I would love to have you. There we go. Okay, I got it back up. Scott Linehan has to go. Every year will be the same. And that's the thing that kills me, guys. How the hell do we still believe in Scott Linehan? How do we believe in this guy? How do we continue to follow and believe this guy? I don't understand it. But Jason Garrett then walked the whole thing back. He came back through and basically said, well, you know, I believe he's going to be back and stuff, but Jerry Jones has the final say on all that. So we wonder, okay, then what's going on? But then I started thinking, well, the Cowboys are headed to the Pro Bowl. So they're going to be doing Pro Bowl practice and stuff this week and everything else. And it may be that Jason Garrett is saying he's going to be back because, well, he doesn't want to coach the Pro Bowl team's offense. And that maybe they'll wait till after the Pro Bowl. So that way they're not asked the questions about constantly, well, you know, who's going to be the next guy or why did you fire him? And you know, figured, hey, Redskin Nation, how you doing? Shout out to you guys, man. We're sitting on the couch with you Redskins and Eagles as well as Giants. So Pay attention to Stephen Jones. If Stephen Jones says he's coming back, then all bets are off. But until he does, I think he's still gone. I'm at least hoping that that's going to be the change that's made. Lincoln Riley is an interesting thought. Jerry Jones for head coach. You mean Jerry Jones already is the head coach? David Irving suspended for the season. Performance-based contract didn't work. No pay. That must have just broke because I didn't see that one. You see something about David Irving suspended for the season? Hold on. Let me check that one out because if somebody put that one up there. Then that broke in the last few minutes. Oh, snap. He has missed multiple drug tests. Well, damn. Yeah, he doesn't care about football.
Well, he's about to get cut anyway. So that don't surprise me.
Yeah, he's going to be suspended. If he's been missing drug testing, then it's over with. So
He was all going to be cut then this season.
we can stop even considering him and stuff. So he'll be suspended for the year. If he's missed drug tests without notifying them, that goes to show he just don't give a F about football or his teammates and so forth. So, wow, that was 3 days ago, but I actually didn't missed it because of the playoff game. So David Irving will be gone, and at least it was only a 1-year tender that we got on it. That's old news about David Irving. I tell you what, I missed it completely, so it's not old news to me. But here's what you got to look at too: is everybody else in that locker room is a team. Everybody else out there is a guy who is giving it all for their teammates. Now, we're hearing that Travis Frederick is going to be back for OTAs and working out. So that ultimately is going to be freaking fantastic. Think about this. Joe Looney is not Travis Frederick. Joe Looney is really, really good, but he's not Travis Frederick. But he's now got a year of experience. He's cheap. So you got him as a backup center, and he can also play guard as well. You got some extra depth if Travis Frederick comes back to form. You also have Connor Williams, who now has the opportunity of having a year under his belt, has the offseason to gain a little bit of weight, work on his technique, and should get better there. Then you got a Cam Fleming, who got a little bit of experience while Tyron Smith was out. Hopefully. Oh, well, thank you, Oscar. You say it makes it look like a real sports studio? Well, we're trying to step it up, man. I apologize. I probably have a few bugs and stuff. I'll go back through and look at the broadcast. And I have to learn how to, everything before was just my cell phone here and working the camera and things. So now I've actually got to do more stuff physically with the computer in front of me and things, and I'm gonna have to boost up the bandwidth and stuff in here as well. But it's gonna be really, really good, and we're gonna be doing some other things and involving a lot of people. It's not gonna be just me. We're gonna try and make this really, really big. The biggest decision on players is DeMarcus Lawrence. I think that decision's already made. He's gonna be signed. And here's the thing: the Cowboys have plenty of money to do anything they want to do. I know people keep saying, we can't sign everybody. They said that going into the offseason, and we franchise tagged DeMarcus Lawrence, which is $17 million. The thing that's incredible about that is we still were able to sign Zach Martin, and most people don't understand what you can do with the cap. You can sign a contract, and you can spread out the signing bonus and the guaranteed money. So you can make it team friendly. So Zach Martin went from a $9 million cap hit last year to signing him to a long-term deal where it was only about a $6 million cap hit. They saved money by signing him. The Cowboys could have saved money on the cap this year had they signed DeMarcus Lawrence to a long-term deal, because the first year could have been about $8 or $9 million. So when they do that, they can prorate these things. And understand here, listen, this year was freaking incredible for ratings for the NFL. Every year, the cap goes up by 10 million plus. And I'm going to tell you, once they get past the labor dispute, when they sign a new collective bargaining agreement, when they sign a new television contract, you're going to see Yahoo Sports, you're going to see Amazon, you're going to see, what's the other one, Mike? Amazon, Yahoo.
I know that.
There's all the internet. Here's the thing.
YouTube, NFL Network.
Yeah,
all the other
right,
networks,
right. YouTube. Somebody is one of these internet providers is going to step up and pay a boatload of money to be able to stream games online, because that's what the NFL is looking at. They're looking at that's the new frontier. That's why you saw them streaming games, Thursday night games and Sunday night games online, because they were testing this out. Somebody is going to step up and pay a whole boatload of money. And what you're going to see is you're going to see that cap blow through the roof. So you can sign Dak Prescott to a long-term deal where it's only about an $8-9 million hit. You can sign Zeke Elliott to one, and so on. And we have triggers in contracts like Zach Martin's. If they need an extra $9-10 million, they can literally, with the signing of a pen, boom, basically move money to guaranteed money, cut them a check and say, we got cap relief. And then there's going to be hard decisions to make, because usually at this time of year, we're about $25 million over the cap. So then we start gutting the team so that way we can get under the cap by that March 1st thing. Daniel Camardi, thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, that Travis Frederick will be ready for OTAs and stuff, and is actually doing really, really well. So, yeah, that's going to be fantastic. A big boost for the team. So they can get money from Zach Martin's contract if they want to. And then you look at, say, Sean Lee. Well, depending on how they do it, Mr. Schumer, it's actually $5 million unless you end up doing it as a post-June 1st cut, in which case you're spreading it out over 2 years. It's still really only $5 million. You're still going to end up having about $3 million in debt, but you can basically put it off. So you look at that contract. You look at a Terrence Williams that if they cut him next year, it's about $2.5 million saving. And one of the ones that could be more difficult would be, say, a Tyrone Crawford, because you look at him at $8 million cap hit, 8.5, 9, somewhere in there that they could save. You have to look at it and say, is there a cheaper option for what he gets, because he is getting a little bit older. So you have to look at these things and say, okay, are we better off signing a young guy and being able to keep him for years to come, or do we hold on to old people? And what you have to understand is this is a young man's game. Oh, hell no on AB. I don't want any divas. No divas for me. Thank you very much. Why do you not think Amari Cooper is worth this contract? You know what I like about Amari Cooper, Jackie? He is not a character that's looking for the limelight. He's not a guy who's going to go out there and pout if he's not getting the ball. He cares about winning. He's low key. We keep looking at guys like, AB. We keep looking at guys. Andrew Rabbit, thank you very much for the super chat. We keep looking at guys like Chad Ochocinco and looking at guys like T.O. You look at all of these diva wide receivers that, make incredible plays. Odell Beckham. But when it comes to winning, you ain't winning stuff with those guys. You are not winning stuff with those players. You're spending a boatload of money. You get selling plenty of jerseys for them. But which one of them have won? Even if you go back to, and he's not a diva, but even if you go back to Megatron. Now, there was a report, somebody's asking about Earl Thomas. There was a report out that Mike Fisher was saying that the Cowboys are still interested in Earl and possibly going after him. That's another one of those ones that you have to say, okay, Earl, are you looking for giving a hometown discount? Because now, again, you got to look at it and say, okay, Earl Thomas is getting up there in age. How much is it going to cost me? He's got the experience and the skill, but how much is it going to cost you? Because that's going to be the bottom line. And you can't sign him to the detriment of being able to keep, one of your young players that you're going to have for a long period of time. I would have rather have had him in the kitty this year and gone from there. Now, some of you guys have noticed I've got my Dak Prescott shirt. Yes, I love my Dak Prescott. You guys know I love my quarterback. I know there's a lot of you guys out there that are saying that Dak sucks, we'll never win with him and everything else. Can't hold a candle to Tony Romo. Well, he's 50% at least in playoff games right now. Okay? And that's with this guy drawing up the offense. It was interesting, and let me see if I can get this stuff straight. Okay, hopefully I got nope, wrong clip. Where is the NFL? Bam! This was kind of interesting to me here. And let me, I'm over here playing now, right? I'm kind of playing a little bit here. So, Timothy Robbins, thank you very much for the super chat. Okay, all right. So I'm playing a little bit here, trying to do a few different things and stuff, and I'll get it down pat. But here's what's interesting. Now, Tom Brady only had one playoff game because, of course, they're high seed and stuff. But here's what's interesting. We know that Phillip Rivers played 2 games. We know Nick Foles played 2 games. We know Andrew Luck played in 2 games. And, of course, the Power 4 played in 2 games. Look who had the most yardage in the playoffs in those 2 games. That guy. That's my quarterback. That's my teammate. Is it perfect? No. Can he be better? Yes. Can we call better plays that give us opportunities? Is that a stadium audio? Sandman, is it sounding funny? If Dak is average, then we should be using that, used to that, because that's all we've ever had is average. Oh, Miss Jackie. Ouch. Ow. I believe in him. Ahmad Chabadi, thank you very much for the super chat. And as we go through, here's what's interesting. Because we know Dak regressed. We know that Dak Prescott sucked in the beginning of the year. Dak, first 3 games, 170 or less. I have to agree. That sucked. You could definitely say Quincy Carter. You could say second, third year RG3. It was awful. But after they got Amari Cooper, after they started getting used to the new parts that they had, he started picking it up. And lo and behold, by the end of the year, take a look at this. 3,885 yards. He came 115 yards away from 4,000. Well, Jackie, you know what? Okay, Jackie, I've been tied to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, I'm about this close to being a stalker. Considered a stalker. You know that. Because I was all in for Dak at the draft. Even before the draft. I mean, Joe Boo was carrying a sign saying, draft Dak. We got Joe Boo on the stage, which almost cost me my marriage. Because I was saying, draft Dak. The reason this channel finally got noticed was because of a Dak Prescott video. But I've always believed in the guy, and if you put the people around him, I believe he will succeed. In fact, if you looked at the game, the Rams ran all over us. Dak Prescott actually had a hell of a game better than Jared Goff did. So you got a quarterback. And I know the Dak haters out there will say, no, he's a bum, we can't win with him. But take a look around our division right now and tell me, would you rather have Eli Manning? Would you rather have the Redskins situation? The Eagles, they're not sure which direction that they should go. Carson Wentz, can he stay healthy? Is he going to be able to play 10 years? I'm not sure that he can. Back injuries, the knee completely reconstructed, and he wasn't the same player as far as his game when he came back from that. Some guys just break down. Show the video again. Which video was that? Oh, the other one. What's up, Law Nation? How you doing tonight, man? I'm assuming that's the real Law Nation, not the other one. But Law, if you actually want to call in, you can call in too. We're actually messing with our new studio setup here, so we're kind of working out the bugs and stuff. But when you look at that, take a look at that. As bad as the season started, he's ended up with more yards for the season than any year that he's had thus far, 3,800. Still only 22 touchdown passes, but you start looking at all the touchdowns that he's rushed, he's getting it done. Now, Zeke Elliott, here's the concern I have with Zeke Elliott is the way they're using Zeke, his career is going to be shortened. Sydney, Australia representing. Robert, how you doing? I got a good friend of ours, Michelle. Michelle, who was actually here, and everybody was talking about, you know, her and I'm doing this, that. Michelle actually lives in Australia, too. So shout out to you down under. But I'm concerned about us always pounding in the middle. We're not doing call-ins tonight. That's the next thing I've got to actually hook up to the system is the call-ins. If we continue to just keep running Zeke straight up ahead and taking this pounding over and over and over again, his career is going to get shortened. We need to start doing things like getting him out in space, start using him more where the passing game to Zeke Elliott is like an extension of the running game. So instead of, because here's the difference. The difference is when you are running from the backfield, 7 yards back, getting ahead of steam, and you're going against a team like the Rams that has a Ndamukong Suh, has, you know, these big-ass guys, and you have to cut, and you're getting hit, and those guys are following on you constantly, and you're about 225 pounds, your body breaks down. Thank you, Caesar. I really appreciate that, man. We're working hard. I apologize for about the bugs and stuff that we have tonight. We'll work on getting that a little bit better. But we can't continue to just have him pounded and just like a battering ram and use him as much as we do the way we do. We do need to get him out in the passing game more and in space where he's catching the ball, where he's got it one-on-one against a linebacker or a cornerback or a safety to prolong his career. Because he is going to be important. Well, here's the thing, Corey. If you look down in the corner there, that's actually the link to the Jobu store. And because it's the end of the season and stuff, if you use Mojo as a promo code, you get 20% off of it. So it ends up being that shirt's about $15, $16, I think it is. And I absolutely love it. I've got another one which I wish it had come before the game, and it's the 3 R's: respect, redemption, and revenge. Unfortunately, we didn't get revenge on the Rams. But we've got to start developing a different identity than what we're doing, because we have literally done the same thing from DeMarco Murray and Tony Romo, and literally running DeMarco Murray into the ground, and followed it up with basically destroying Tony Romo's career. We can't keep repeating this thing. Yeah, we get, 8 wins, 10 wins, 12 wins and stuff like that into the playoffs, and maybe 1 and done or 2 and done. But if we are ever going to get to the Super Bowl, which is where we need to be, I think you have enough talent. It's a matter of putting that talent in a position to be able to win consistently. Mojo. Carol, Mojo. Yeah, Mojo 2. Mojo 2 is actually the promo code. The link is down in the bottom corner right here. Oh, no, this corner. This corner, okay. Everything's opposite of where I am. But if you go there, that's where you can get the shirts and stuff. What position should we target most during the draft? Well, it's actually changed a little bit from what I originally was thinking before, because if Travis Frederick is coming back, then that means your offensive line has actually got more depth than what you thought, because I'm still worried about Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith has been staying injured over the last couple of years. Of course, Zach Martin's going to need to get his knee scoped, and you worry about that as well. And then Connor Williams. But if Travis Frederick, yeah, you can buy, again, the shirts are, there's actually shirts. I actually have some coffee mugs that are coming. There's Jobu ones and stuff on there. It's a Jobu store that's actually in Teespring, so you can hit it up. Oh, Carol. Damn it, Carol. Okay. Carol says, Mike, call her back.
She's fake.
Okay. Moving right along from dating app here.
Yeah, can you do me a favor? What? Don't ever. 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 You, E2 Blue, I'm going to explain it tonight too, but don't ever hook me up with any of y'all.
Okay.
That person is crazy, but that's another conversation for another.
Okay, moving right along. Okay, I had nothing to do with all of that. This is the first time I've seen Carol. Carol, hello, welcome to the chat and stuff. Okay, but anyway, I've done lost my train of thought. Oh, the offensive line. So if Travis Frederick is coming back, that's fantastic because now you got Joe Looney who can also play guard as a backup. You've got Cam Fleming who has played now for Tyron Smith. So you don't have to worry about the offensive line quite so much. I think it's deserving. Yeah, I think, Sam, man, and shout out to you for being back, man. I enjoyed talking to you the other night and stuff, man. I think David Irving is done. I mean, what did we get out of him this year? Nothing. 56 plays is what we got. So forget about it. So you start looking at wide receiver. Well, we got Amari Cooper, so we're okay right there. Tight end play has been better, but I'm still concerned if tight end is the spot. You got Zeke Elliott, you got Dak, and then you start looking at our defense. Now, if we're talking about possibly getting Earl Thomas, then you're saying, okay, our safeties are okay. So I'm not sure where we want to go. It may be one of those cases where we just look at the best player available. And I hadn't even thought that far ahead to the draft. It's been still dealing and thinking that we were going to still be playing in the playoffs. So we'll start looking at, after we start worrying about free agency, who the Cowboys will end up keeping and who will they be letting go and who they might be targeting, because that'll end up being the first thing we deal with come March. And you're going to have to look at, too, what guys are we going to look at cutting or retiring? So a guy like Sean Lee, is he going to be coming back? Or are we going to look at that and say that's a spot where we can save about $5 million? Get rid of Jason Garrett. I wouldn't mind that one at all, but I think Jason Garrett will be back, so it'll be more of the bigger question will be is Scott Linehan. If we can at least get Scott Linehan and get a real offensive coordinator and a real quarterback coach, then I'm okay with that situation. But until we do that, I don't know. And again, a lot of people are still at the point of saying, you know what, we're going to hold on to that guy. But I'm not so sure that we do, because we were dealing with the whole situation of Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant, we've told that he was going to be here. Oh, hold on, okay. Law, you call. Okay, hold on. Law, let me call you back, buddy, because you actually called the other Skype. I've got two Skype lines, so let me get you on this one.
Dez Bryant might be getting a ring this year.
Well, Dez Bryant might be getting a ring, but okay.
Which is saying.
Without playing a single play.
Which is actually saying.
All right. Are you there, Law?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you too, Law. Welcome to the show, man. Not sure. Okay, there you are. Let's see. Bam. Okay, Law, how you doing tonight? There's a poor network connection. All right, we lost him there. Let's see if he's coming back. Okay, so Law's going to be coming in and joining us. Let's trade Dak to the. Really, dude? Really?
Dak Prescott not the problem. It's the coaching.
Come on, man. And oh, you know what? Let's play this game for a second here. Dre Taylor. You're gonna trade him to Buffalo, and you're gonna have who play quarterback next year? Just answer me that one. Who's gonna play quarterback for us? This is the crap that's always crazy to me on some of you guys. You come up, oh, we'll just get rid of him. We'll just get another quarterback. You know how many years people have been trying to get quarterbacks? Quarterbacks are few and far between. There aren't a whole lot of franchise quarterbacks out there. So to just say, we'll get rid of that guy. Now, I'm not saying that you might not find a better one down the road, but you don't just give one away. Okay, Law Nation.
What's up, man?
Can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Okay, all right. Well, welcome to our new studio setup. I'm still getting the bugs and everything out of it here. We've done a few things a little bit different than what we used to do, and I'm using this live stream software. In fact, I am happy as can be that you're on here tonight.
Appreciate it, man. I'm still suffering right now, but normally when a week go by and I'll be back up, but.
Adrian Lindsay, thank you very much for the super chat. Well, here's the thing. I've been sitting here going crazy as well. I've been depressed. I've gone through the whole anger situation. I've been sad. I've gone through and I've accepted it. And it is what it is at this moment. But I'm not mad because we could have been in the Washington Redskins at this point. We could have imploded and just gotten ugly. But these guys stayed together. They fought every single step of the way, and I can't be mad about it. At least we won one playoff game. That's a start. At least we've had 3 winning seasons, right?
True that.
So maybe if we can get rid of Scott Linehan, and I think that's the thing that's going to be the deal killer for fans. I almost think that they came out today and said, oh, yeah, Scott Linehan's coming back, just to gauge the public's ire. What do you think?
It's been 10 years with Jason Garrett administration. And when Jason Garrett talk, I believe he's talking through the echoes of Jerry Jones. I don't think Jason Garrett makes his own decisions out there.
No, I don't think so either.
But for him to say that, he had to have something to come from Jerry. Now, I do know that Steven been known to override some things, just like the Dez Bryant situation. I heard Steven override that and some other stuff too. So maybe Steven is more so like, nah, does not have to be. They have yet to be confirmed yet. That's still just speculations right now. We still focus on blase. So. We'll see, though.
Well, we'll see. Well, we got the good news that Travis Frederick supposedly is going to be back working out in OTAs and everything else. And I was sitting there thinking that if that is the case, if he is back full go, all of a sudden our offensive line, you're not going to have to worry about quite so much because now we got some real depth with experience. The fact that Joe Looney ended up starting as the center all season, if he is now a backup, he also plays guard as well. So now you got a swing guard center. You get Connor Williams a chance to work on his gameplay, get some more size, and you got Cam Fleming. So now all of a sudden we got a loaded offensive line, don't we? Or am I wrong with that?
Supposedly, yes. It's the best left guard that's on the team playing right tackle right now. That's the best left guard on his team. So hopefully Connor can just eat some burgers this offseason, mashed potatoes, go to grandma and them house, get that good hearty meal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That would be fantastic. Well, somebody, I haven't even thought about the draft yet. And somebody mentioned and said, which direction would we go with that second-round pick? And I'm kind of like, man, I'm not sure exactly where they ought to go. That it may end up being the best player available because I said, okay, offensive line, I think you're kind of okay there. You look at wide receivers. I think Michael Gallup's going to be great. You know Amari Cooper, he just bought that diamond-encrusted Dallas Cowboy jersey.
Wow.
$65,000 Dallas Cowboy diamond-encrusted jersey. So he's getting paid. Okay? He knows where he wants to be.
And then he got to stay on the team. You saw how he got in the face of Peters. I think it was after the game or something like that. He charged him. He was like, look, I'm ready to throw them blows now,
Yeah. So, wide receiver.
My guy David Alexander the Great, he sent me a message via email. He said, these are the guys that we need to probably take a look at. And shout out to David Alexander. He said, Irv Smith Jr., tight end for Alabama. I'm going to look up his film tonight. And then he said some guy named Charles. I cannot say his last name, but he's a defensive end for Texas. It started with an O menu, like an O menu. I can't say his name. And Terry Beckner Jr., defensive tackle, Missouri. So those are the 3 guys that I'm going to be looking at on tonight. And I hope, we would still need an explosive. As much as we love Blake Jarwin, we still need an explosive tight end.
Oh, I agree with that too. And,
Yep.
we all kept having hopes for Rico Gathers, but after he dropped that ball, I was like, oh, okay. I don't want to hear no more about Rico Gathers. Although I think part of that was his growth was stunning because he just never got the opportunities. He didn't get enough passes coming to him where he would get comfortable out there, and that goes back to Scott Linehan. We got to get rid of that guy.
Man, Scotty. And it's not like we want to just can Scott Linehan. The thing is just his system, to me, is just prehistoric. You know, it's good for Matthew Stafford. It's good for Matt Ryan. It's maybe good for Brett Favre if he can come out of retirement or something like that. But for Dak Prescott, let's get something different in here. We know good and well we would not get rid of Jason Garrett. So let's at least help us out and get somebody else in there, man.
Stello 300, thank you very much for the super chat. Wait, I got to go back on this one. Kenneth Lott said it law. Any thoughts of trading Zeke for our first?
Unless there's a Minnesota team out there, remember, back in the day.
I don't think anybody's going to do that one anymore. Come on, man. Okay. Although, actually, think about this. We still had an opportunity in that game with Zeke getting, I think he only had 50 yards. Am I right on that?
Right.
We ended up going, toe-to-toe with Philadelphia, 400-some yards with Dak, right? Was that the game that was 400 yards? 400. Okay. And it was, 370, 367 against the Giants? So we're looking at Dak's numbers. Last part of it, did the light switch go on with Dak? Where all of a sudden, because remember we always heard that Dak can't throw for 200 yards. Can't throw for multiple games, right? And that was true in the first part of the season. But now all of a sudden, we're doing a little bit more through the air, aren't we?
We are. And now, this is the thing. It's like a conundrum. Do you credit Scott Linehan, or do you say, okay, this is Dak Prescott stepping it up, or do you credit the quarterback coach? So it's always going to be that conundrum. But my thing is, it's not just Scott Linehan, and it's not just Dak Prescott stepping it up in those moments of time. Don't the offensive coordinator call the run plays too?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be nice if we can get an offensive coordinator that can scheme a guy for 100 yards like a C.J. Anderson? That was all scheme. There was no talent. The guy had a bowling ball for a belly and had the bowling ball with legs, running out of there with his Teletubby self, running all through the Dallas Cowboys. That was just horrible, man.
They pounded the hell out of us, man.
See, yeah, it's crazy. You need to send C.J. Anderson with that keto diet, man.
No, I think he's happy about that, because he was enjoying rolling right on through our defensive. And but here's the thing that kills me on that game.
Scheme, man.
Well, it was scheme, but think about this though. There were a couple of plays that were the difference in that game. That hands to the face call.
Yeah.
That gave him a first down on 3rd and 14. That was a killer. That Lyle Collins sack of Dak Prescott that was called in the grass, that was another killer.
Oh, that was crazy, man. I can't wait. That's what I'm waiting for the All-22. I want to see who was open. I think Dak Prescott would have launched that and got a touchdown almost.
It's like, wait a minute, how the hell is he in the grass? I mean, this stuff is just, it don't make sense.
But this is the craziest part about it. They totally missed the hand to the helmet,
Right. And that's always the case. Stella 300, thank you very much for the super chat. This is David Alexander. Thank you for the shout out, Law. I can't wait until we can get those film sessions. Okay. All right. So.
Oh, that's David Alexander. Shout out to him. He changed his name.
Yeah. So he's Stella 300. Yeah. So we appreciate that, man. But you're seeing Dak's numbers go up. He had 3885 on the year. And when you think that the first 3 games were only 170, 160, 165 yards, to end up with 38, that's actually doing a whole lot more. Those numbers, his numbers he had more yards than a lot of guys like Matthew Stafford.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Alex EM, thank you very much for the super chat. And I remember to turn down the special effects a little bit. I'm learning.
Let me talk about this right quick.
Okay.
Gary Kubiak, Mike McCarthy, right?
Yeah.
McCarthy. You guys correct me. And somebody said Todd Haley. He's already been inside this house before. He's a very aggressive guy, though. You know, he's very aggressive. Him and Jason Garrett would get to fight. And I think Todd Haley would throw them hands. Give me Kubiak.
I wouldn't. I take a Ham Simmons right now over Scott Linehan. I mean, honestly, I just think we need a change just for change's sake, because everybody knows what the hell. Did you have any when we were going for it? Because this is the third one that killed us. North Turner was working at Carolina, so you're not going to get him out of Carolina, I don't think. I mean, he's only been there for 1 year, and he was actually doing a lot of good things with Cam. Not changing it from him being a running quarterback, but he was basically taking his skill in the pocket and making it better.
And before you touch on that point, this was Cam Newton's highest quarterback completion percentage of his career.
Until his shoulder got messed up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what a good coach would be able to do with Dak Prescott. And if you got somebody in there, he may never be Aaron Rodgers, but you start now looking at, if you look at Russell Wilson's numbers at this point in his career, it was that defense and having that running game that really got into those Super Bowls. Now he's actually maturing where he's getting a whole lot of yards and stuff, but he doesn't have that defense. So they're kind of like, that 9-10 win team every year, but they're not achieving like they did when they had beast mode, at his height in the defense. So it's kind of a give and take situation there. But you're right. Cam Newton was playing lights out. And if we could get somebody to do that kind of thing with Dak Prescott, with his ability to not turn over the ball, be able to throw in some more of these tighter windows and stuff and recognize quicker, then all of a sudden you got a really good quarterback, I think.
Yeah, because I was so disappointed. I think Jared Goff had more rushing yards than Dak Prescott in this previous game. And it's just the utilization. I mean, should be all – you should leave everything out there on the field. Not saying that they didn't, but they didn't drop any RPOs. They played it too safe.
Well, but again, that fourth down, every fourth down is the same exact damn play. It is a dive with Zeke Elliott right up the middle. You get Dak Prescott turning, running back 5 yards, handing it off to Zeke, and it's giving the defense enough time to go ahead and penetrate. And when you got Namagatsu in there, and these guys, but they can plug up the middle. That's when you go ahead and say, okay, let's go ahead and bootleg out of there, have Dak run or throw it quickly to the tight end. I'm like, come on.
It's crazy, man. This is the thing. The first time they converted, I think 2 or 3, maybe fourth and one plays. The very first one, I think it was in the first quarter. We was down 3 points. I think it was like 0-3. And what happened was it was a down where they line up in the I formation. It was an off I formation. Tamez Olawale, the wonderful off-season transition that we got, they motioned him all the way out to the outside. They motioned him all the way on the outside. What that does is that it moved at least one person out of the box and one of the linebackers to shade to his side. They run that play. Yes, somebody's like, oh, Lord, they got it through the middle. But this is the thing. When on that play, the reason why they was able to execute that particular play because Ezekiel Elliott, he ran between Zach Martin and La'el Collins. Like I said before, La'el Collins is a dog, is a monster of a blocker.
But he is a better guard than the tackle.
Better guard than the tackle. So that's the hole that Ezekiel Elliott was able to run through to get about 3 yards, right? The second one that they achieved on was the toss play. You remember Dak Prescott, the linebacker come crashing? Beautiful execution of the play because the linebacker got to make a choice. Do I cream the quarterback or do I go after Ezekiel Elliott? That's giving you options on 4th and 1 when you got 8 men in the box. You will get that 99.9% chance.
We still continue.
And right now, guess what the Cowboys' percentage is on that play on 4th and 1?
Yeah, and of course we end up going home. So,
tell me that percentage on the Cowboys on 4th and 1 when they do the toss to Ezekiel Elliott or Dak Prescott keep it.
It's like 100%, ain't it?
It's 100% for 3 years. I look back at the tape for 3 freaking years, from 2016, 17 to now. They are 100% on 4th and 1 off of that play. I'm sitting there like, what are you doing, coach?
Law, I can't figure it, man. I don't know. This is where I don't know if it, because it seems like whenever we get in the playoffs, we always have that brain fart. I don't know if these guys are just pissing down their leg and just panicking or what, but it's just like we always seem to do this stuff. And here's the thing:
on the 4th and 1 play that they didn't get, they got to run behind the softest life guard in life. Yeah. Connor Williams is a baby.
Yep. And that's where you got to look at it and say, maybe it's time to let Scott Linehan go. I'm going to ask you this, in your opinion, on this one, because I think you and Vosh had an argument about Sean Lee going into the playoffs, didn't you guys?
Yeah, we had that debate about that. Me and my guy Fuster King was like, look, let's ride the horse that we rode in on, and keep the young buck back there. Don't change the horse in the middle of the race. But go ahead.
Your thoughts after we changed the horse in the race?
We fell off that damn horse.
It just seemed like I didn't look at the numbers, but did Sean Lee get more snaps than Jalen Smith or Van Der Esch? Because it seemed like we would pull one of those guys out and Sean Lee stayed on the field.
Yeah. My only argument with this, Mark, would be this. You played sports, and your son played sports. Everybody plays sports that's in the chat box.
Yeah.
There's something about flow. There's something about something that you saw in the first quarter. You say, they better not try that in the second and the third.
Right.
I really think that the continuity, and I'm not the coach. I'm not Chris Richard. I'm not Rob Marinelli or whoever the linebacker coach is. Mm-hmm. But there's something about poise and continuity.
Right.
Look, when you have a playmaker like Jalen Smith, even though he might have got blown up against the run, of course, but how many plays does it take for him to pick up that fumble and take it all the way to the house against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Not long. I mean,
one play. So who's to say out of their series that, he could have shot the gap and hit the guy in the belly, that C.J. Anderson, and
right.
He thought that the ball was a jelly donut, and he'd have tried to dive for it wrongly, and Jalen Smith picks it up and headed all the way to the house.
Yeah.
Something about poise, continuity. It should be a crime for Jalen Smith to sit on the sideline with his hands like this.
Right. Especially at the season that they've had. Because this,
right.
But see, this is a repeat of the last time we were in the playoffs. You know that, right?
Oh, I already know what you're finna say.
We did the exact same thing with Morris Claiborne. Because Claiborne, I think it was the last 6 games of the season. He started out playing great, the best time period in his career, but he got injured. And you brought him in for the playoffs cold. And he ended up having a hands to the face penalty. It was 3rd down and 14. Aaron Rodgers, we had stopped him and everything else. He gets a hands to the face that play wasn't even anywhere near him. They get a first down. They go down and score. If they don't score that score, we don't have so far to come back. That game could have been lost right there. And then he didn't even make it through the whole game. He wasn't even effective in that game. And to bring Sean Lee in and play him I understand. Sean Lee is incredible, heart and soul of the team and stuff. But You're talking about a guy who really hasn't played all season. He didn't work out in training camp, really.
And let me talk about the residuals of that. Did you know that they sat Anthony Brown in that playoff game?
Yeah.
Let me know how Anthony Brown did that last year in 2017. Was his confidence shot?
The second half of that season, he was one of the highest rated cornerbacks in the NFL. So that's where you start having to say,
sat him in the playoff.
What are you thinking? But, it is what it is. But, it can't change it now. I mean, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Now we're on to the offseason and figuring out what we're going to do, who we're going to keep, and so on. But at least I think we got something to build on.
Did you go over our biggest free agents already? I got a list right here.
Go right ahead for it. I'm still. Where's my girlfriend from England tonight? I don't have a girlfriend. I have a wife. If you're talking about Katie Katie is probably asleep because they're like 5 hours ahead of us. And I think she's got a cold. So, you know, you can go over to her channel, check her out, and say, hey, where were you on Mark's show last night? We missed you and stuff. So, but, I'm sorry, moving on.
No, it's going good. Here it is, and a shout out to Katie. Katie calls it, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to her. She's a wonderful person. This is the biggest free agents that we have so far. DeMarcus Lawrence, Cole Beasley, Jeff Swaim, Tavon Austin, Damian Wilson, Rod Smith, and David Irving. Those are our big name free agents that we have that we're going to have to make a move on.
David Irving, I think you need to say bye-bye.
Write him off. What about Rod Smith?
I mean, you know, he supposedly missed 3 drug tests.
I'm not even going to touch that topic.
Okay, because...
every time I talk about it, I get people saying, hey, Law, you don't know, man. He got life issues.
No.
He just, you know, football is more than football and, you know, blase, blase, blase. Life is more important. Family is more important. You're not there, so give the guy a chance. We gave Randy Gregory a chance. Da-da-da-da.
You know what? Here's the thing. In business, they don't care except what you can perform. I'll give you a quick answer on this one. I remember I didn't know that I actually was driving on a suspended license. I had a parking ticket that I didn't know I'd gotten, and it ended up being I didn't pay it. And they had sent me in the mail that my license was suspended. I was pulled over by the police at a seatbelt checkpoint. Everything was fine then, but they came to my door the next day and said, you were driving on a suspended license.
Wow.
My son Michael was only about 6 years old. My daughter was only about 3 years old. And I was a single parent with just these kids. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, my license being suspended. I got these 2 kids there. I said, we don't care. You're coming downtown with us. You're getting booked. And your kids are not my problem. I said, can we at least take him to my neighbor's house so I'm not leaving a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old here by themselves? So if you're telling me that you've got to take care of business to be able to take care of them, because that's the problem. You can't think that you're going to take care of the problem by ignoring everything else that's going on. It's a whole lot easier trying to take care of the kids when you've got a job and an income coming in than when you're unemployed. So I have sympathy to a point, but you know what? You can't just say, well, screw all this, and you know, I don't and think that you're supposed to keep getting chance over chance over chance. People would say when I didn't have money and stuff, we like you, we feel bad about your situation that you got to watch your kids and stuff, but we got a job to do, and if you're not here to do it, we got to get somebody else to do it. So okay, they've given him plenty of room, plenty of space to say, look, take care of business. But if you're not doing the basics to at least be able to have the opportunity on the field, I think you got to say your mind's elsewhere. Wish you the best of luck. If you work this stuff out, maybe come back and talk to us. But right now, you ain't anywhere near it. So to me, okay, that one.
Man, that's some deep story, man. That's a deep story, Mark. So what was the resolution? You had to pay what is it, $1,000 fine? What was the fine?
No. Well, actually, it was dismissed. It was a $20 parking ticket. And it ended up being, I went to court, and the judge said, oh, we see that there's actually a cross between you being notified and you being arrested, so dismissed. But I still ended up going downtown, getting fingerprinted, getting arrested, you know, had to talk to the magistrate so I could get out of jail that night to get back to get my kids. So I understand you got problems, but, you know, you've got to find a way to make all this stuff work. If you're employed with a good job, you should be able to find a babysitter for half the day.
Wow, that's good stuff, man. Yes,
okay,
indeed.
so back on that list. So we got David Irving. DeMarcus Lawrence, you got to sign to me.
You got to sign a law,
okay,
right?
You got it. Okay, that's no question right there. Okay.
I had some people to inbox me and to email me and say DeMarcus Lawrence is trash. He talked too much, and they shouldn't sign him.
That's the 80% talk.
What?
You know, if we listen to some of these people, we'd only have about 5 players on the team.
True that.
I mean, seriously. You know, Tyron Smith, he's a trash man. He's old. He can't stay healthy. Get rid of him. Okay. All right. You know, Zeke Elliott, he can't stay out of trouble. Get rid of him. Dak Prescott, he's garbage. Get rid of him. I was like, okay, who are you going to keep on this team then?
Oh, man. The next person on this list is Cole Beasley, man. What would you do with him? Now, this is the backstory of Cole. He said, and he lamented the fact that he would like to be the highest paid slot receiver in the game, or get paid around the parameters of a highest paid slot receiver. Would you make that move?
I don't think so. Not highest. I think you do. This is going to sound crazy, but the way Michael Gallup is Stello 300. Thank you very much for the super chat. But the way that Michael Gallup is developing into a deep threat, you could actually put Amari Cooper in the slot some and be a major threat, because he seems like he can catch that ball in some traffic, and he's got a little more size in there as well. I mean, if you're talking about the Cole Beasley looking to get paid big time, you can't afford it.
You can't. You just can't, right? And he's the MVP of the receiving core as far as sturdy hand and good sure hands catcher. Mm-hmm. But right now, that cost is going to be very pricey unless you cut Sean Lee.
Well, that's that's $5-6 million if he ends up retiring. Yeah. And there's another one that might be interesting where they can get some money too, and I don't know if it's Tyrone Crawford. That's like $9 million. He's not a free agent.
He's a vocal leader. He's not a on the field leader as far as stats, but he is a vocal leader of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, $9 million is a big chunk of change. Now, Terrence Williams is, I think, a $2.5 million savings if they cut him.
Man, poor Terrence, man. I think I'm more high on Cedric Wilson next year, believe it or not. We have yet to see him play, but Terrence Williams, Michael Gallup showed up too much this year. And before Allen Hurns got his injury, Allen Hurns showed up a lot as well. So.
Yeah, he was coming on later in the season too. Jason Garrett in here said he's taking notes.
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
Okay, yeah, there we go. We competed, I'm proud of our guys. Oh, shut the hell up, okay? Get mad, okay? Damn it, we lost, okay? Just show me some emotion or something. So, all right, so as we go on down the line again.
Swain, what you do with him? Boy, that tight end room is crowded. It's crowded.
I might let him go.
Let him go. Gio. Got to.
Yeah.
You got Schultz, you got High Promise and Blake Jarwin. And I think Rico, even though he's still signed, you really don't make any money cutting Rico.
So he's not making any money, so yeah. Okay.
All right, so after that, you got Tavon Austin.
Yeah, I think you bring him back. The way he played a kick returner, now, he's got the durability issues and stuff, but I don't think he had enough time in the system really to kind of come on.
Right. A lot of people in the chat box say keep Swain. Get rid of Gathers instead.
But again, he's only costing you a ham sandwich and a slice of cheese on it.
Yes, indeed. Damian Wilson. Sam linebacker. I like Joe Thomas better, but
if Sean Lee is gone, then I think you keep him.
Right, 57 Damian.
Yeah, because he's played well in spots as a backup role. I mean, Jalen and Van Der Esch are going to need to be out there on a regular, but you still need to have some good depth on there. And if Sean Lee is definitely not there, you don't want to just kind of say, okay, we're just going to drop everybody. That's what killed us last year, was when Sean Lee went out, we didn't have enough depth on linebacker.
Wow. Yeah. I agree with that. I agree. What did you do with the Covington kid? The guy we drafted, I think his name was Chris or something like that. Covington.
Yeah, we don't know anything about him.
Right. Well, that answered that question. So it's back to the drawing boards, back to the draft, baby.
Right, exactly.
All right, so we talked about Rod Smith. I think, to me personally, Rod Smith is a starting running back in the National Football League. He's just not a good change of pace back. I think that with Rod Smith, if you can have him on the roster and have him starting for like 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters, he can average about 70, 80 yards a game.
I think you're right on that one too. So yeah, so you keep him for nothing else if for trade bait possibly down the road.
To the Raiders or something, they love to give us something back, right?
Right. I would hold on to him. I would think, but then again, who are we? I got a day job and a voodoo doll, so I don't know. I don't make those decisions.
And one other fantasy talk, 'cause I know you want to wrap this thing up, right? Or you want to keep going?
Mm-hmm. No, we can keep
All right.
going for a little bit.
Good. I got the little one sleeping, and she's good. The Steelers are shopping Antonio Brown for a second-round draft pick. Would you make that move if you the GM?
Hell no on that one. No, thank you. Hell no. No,
Yes.
you know what? I don't like. I'm sorry. I don't like the diva wide receivers, man.
Right.
You name me one diva wide receiver that's winning Super Bowls. They were winning Super Bowls in Pittsburgh before they got Anthony Brown, weren't they?
Yeah, I think, and he played for the Pittsburgh. The last one was San Antonio Holmes. I think he was the last diva
Okay.
to win.
What did Ocho Cinco win?
Nothing. Nada.
What has Odell Beckham won? He ain't even won a playoff game yet.
He didn't start the last two games. And believe it or not, guys, I'm not trying to put rain on our parade, but we got to watch out for the Giants next year. We got to watch out for them, but keep going.
Who do you got as quarterback?
Well, they still got Eli. They got an early draft pick, so you hope they don't draft a
Okay.
2.0.
All right, enough said. They got Eli. So I see a lot of people have been asking about Earl Thomas. I think Mike Fisher had hinted about something about Earl Thomas, the Cowboys interested in signing him.
And it was saying that they're not interested or something like that along those lines. Mike Fisher know how to stretch this
Mr.
thing
Truckee,
out.
thank you for the super chat. Well, he's working it. You know, he gets some clicks now. You know, he got those clicks by throwing me under the bus. So,
He's crafty because you know good and well Cowboys are thinking about Earl Thomas, but he put out there, the exclusive. Cowboys are not thinking about Earl Thomas.
Did not, Mark. No, we have not. Yeah, he is a diva. But so many times to me, I mean, like the Giants, I know they're having second thoughts about signing a big contract for Odell.
Yeah.
You know, he's got, so now he stays hurt. He's always a distraction doing some stupid stuff, you know, and everything else. And you start looking at that. To me, tight end is more important now than wide receiver. Yeah. And people are undervaluing it. And I just keep looking at all these high-priced wide receivers, and teams aren't winning with them. But, you know, again, what do I know? Kenneth Lott says, who gets paid? Well, Zeke's going to get paid. You know you got to pay a quarterback. Okay? You know you got to play D-Law. You know you got to pay Amari Cooper.
Yeah, you got to pay those guys. I saw a report, man. I wish I had it. I wish I could pull it up. It said the market value for Dak Prescott will be $25 million. And keep in mind, guys, I do know that number.
To me, that's a fair number because when you look at the range of them, I think Aaron is at 33 or 34.
Mm-hmm. 67 million.
I mean,
guaranteed.
and when you think that Nick Foles, if you were to stay in Philadelphia, is 19 as a backup. You know, Sam Bradford got 20 for 1 year with the Cardinals. And then you see a Jimmy Garoppolo, isn't he like 28, 29, somewhere in there? I mean, so it's not like 25 actually is a bargain.
Yeah, that was the fair market value that the report showed. I think it was Bleacher Report or something like that. And keep in mind, guys, it's inflated because this is the thing. The salary cap went up $4.5 million this year, so we got a little bit more wiggle room.
4. I thought it was going up $9 million this year.
Oh, 9? Oh, correct me if
I'm
wrong.
But I mean, I think they were saying it was a range. I think between $8 and $9 million that they thought was going to go up again.
Wow,
and
so that really is a steal because $25 million now is
right.
It's cheap.
Somebody says breaking news: Scott Linehan has just been released by the Dallas Cowboys. Released. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. It wouldn't be released. It would be fired. But I don't know if there's any truth to that one or not. I have not seen anything on that, and I've kind of plugged into everything. I would love for it to be that.
Whatever you do, Mark, don't report it.
Oh, I know. I'm not. No, I'm just saying somebody in here said that. Breaking news. They said cut and paste it. Okay. And is looking at quarterback coach from the LA Rams. I just copied and paste that. Okay. Well, we'll see if that happens. I would be happy. Like I said, I would take a ham sandwich over Scott Linehan. Somebody said clickbait. Should we go for Jesse James, Mark?
Oh, my goodness, if we have him or the Kittles kid from 49ers. Jesse James is nice, though. But I've seen, what's this guy name? I forgot his name. I want to quote him, but this is the thing. He put out there that Jesse James will last 3 or 4 games, and he compared Jesse James to Blake Jarwin. And, of course, Blake Jarwin's stats and numbers look like they was pale in comparison. It's like way higher than Jesse James. So,
right.
I don't know, but Jesse James still is a nasty tight end. I love the skill set.
Okay. All right. Linehan's the age, Garrett's the bread. Okay. Rams quarterback coach is hurt. Okay. Just trying to go through on these. Yeah, I agree with Mike. That would be like earth-shattering if that had been happening. So it's like my phone would be just blowing up right now. So that's not founded by anybody. Why was Jordan taking all the punch returns and not Austin? That's a good question. I think Austin, I think he tweaked the groin just a little bit, didn't he?
Did he? I didn't know. It still wasn't reported, right?
I thought he was on the injury report that it was a little sore, but it wasn't major.
He was dressed in uniform.
Well, they had him on some of the end rounds, but they never gave him the ball. So, and they passed to him one time to like a smoke screen to the right. That wasn't really his forte. I like to get him in motion. I like to get him on the move or on the run. And they had him on several plays as the wet back for blocking purposes. So I don't think that he was that injured. I just think that like I said, man, the person that shut down Ezekiel Elliott, the person that shut down Tavon Austin, his name is Scott Linehan. Boy, he did a good job of shutting them down.
Yeah, and that you know what? That's where coaching comes in, because I looked at when we played them, the Colts knew that we have the hot boys and that offense is so quick. That pass rush is so quick. They basically schemed against us. It seemed like they did so much more 3-step drop back. They ended up doing the run pass options and stuff and moving around the pocket, so we didn't have enough time to go through there. And, the Cowboys always have their prototypical defensive linemen. They like that length and stuff like that. They just literally got in there and out-physicaled us in the middle, and we just did not have the answer to be able to get physical like that as well. A lot of people don't realize that our sacks usually aren't coming from one-on-one matchups. They're actually done from stunning. Because our guys are so good.
And stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, that we're basically using smaller guys. And I'm 5'10". Before the diet, I was about 272. Now take me and stretch me out to about 6'4", 6'5" at that weight, and that's about the size of a lot of our defensive linemen. They're not really big guys. So when you start getting those maulers in there like the Rams did, they just beat and pushed them right on out the way.
They did. But also that they won through the linebackers too. They wasn't able to shed and get off their release to make the tackles. And how was that done, Law? Or how's that done, Mark? How was that done? I kept talking to myself in third person.
Go ahead and answer.
They motioned. They motioned they line up in 3 wide receiver set. They took the tight end off the field, and sometimes they come up with a 4 wide receiver set, and they'll motion that guy to one side, and they'll see who's trailing. This team, we play tons and tons of man-to-man, meaning that you will have your back turned to the team. I think that the only thing that could have been resolved of that is for us to get out of that press man coverage and drop our guys back so we can look and see where the ball is going to go.
Right.
But we play man-to-man. We fly out to the ball. We chase to the ball like no other. We're the best team that does it all this year, and they use our strength against us as weaknesses. And I told a lot of people before the game, the Dallas Cowboys just not a outside team. We're more of a turf team. We like to play inside.
Right.
Fly out to the ball, pursuit, and chase.
Superstar Status was asking about Byron Jones. Byron Jones has a 5th-year option, doesn't he?
I think he
He does, yeah.
Right. So he won't be a free agent. That's what I was thinking. So yeah, we hold on to Byron Jones. He took a major leap going from safety to cornerback with Chris Richard, and thank God that Chris Richard's not going anywhere.
Yes,
oh,
indeed.
Man, that was my biggest worry right there. I was like, man, we can't lose that guy.
Rob Marinelli said that was the best offseason move all year. Chris Richard, and that's coming from Rob Marinelli.
And basically saying, you know what, I don't give a damn about titles or anything else. Just keep that guy. Hot Shot Slayer, thank you very much for the super chat. We need a no BS fat man, mean defensive tackle. Man, I agree with you on that one. That's where years ago I wanted Calais Campbell, because I was like, you get a big beast like that in there that's an immovable force, you can do something. Antoine Woods did do really well, slum and things, but I think he got a little bit nicked up there too towards the end of the season.
The human law got his butt whooped inside. And it's just one of those things where he got caught looking in it. He got his hand caught in the cookie jar, shooting the gap too soon, and the guy was able to hit him in that soft spot. It's one of those things where they use our strength and changed it to our weakness. And that's how you scheme. We saw scheme. There's nobody in this world that can tell me right now that C.J. Anderson is better than Rod Smith, at least, you know, or even close to Ezekiel Elliott.
Sorry, open-minded movie man. I missed your super chat. Sorry, it gets to be quite a bit that's going on around here, so I do miss stuff. I'm trying to look at Law over here because I got a screen with him going on. That's there. I got the crawler going through here, and I actually have all the controls over there. So forgive me, I don't mean to miss any super chats, but what we'll do is I go back through after the show and end up writing down everybody's super chats and stuff, and we'll do drawings and stuff during the off season and things. But Law, what you got coming up for us now? It's the off season, so the fans know what to look for, when to look for you, and everything else.
Oh yes, this is my plan for the off season. I'm not going to do film breakdown as much on the college guys until after the I want to say after the combine. What I'm going to do here is, Mark, I'm just going to do like the review. I'm going to look at a few of the players that you guys have in mind, highlights, and I'm going to do the review like I did last year. And please help me out, help Mark out, help everybody out by letting us know of some players, because we don't know. I already know Bach Lombardi. He's already into it.
Oh,
but we don't know these guys. So hit us up, shoot us emails, man. Leave us comments down below in the comment section after this video has been posted, so we can go and look at some players, and so we can see who needs to be a guy that we can really take a deep dive at, and that will help out everyone. Appreciate everybody for your time. Appreciate everybody for the knowledge out there of the Cowboys Nation. And appreciate you, Mark, for allowing me to be on this beautiful, wonderful platform. I love it. You got your name down below. I love it. You got Joe Boo Sports Report, man. It looks nice, man. And the transitionings, man. I think that the 4-Ladder Network is jealous right now.
You know what? I've only scratched the surface of this thing, but Robert Root, thanks for the super chat. This thing is off the chain. I'm only using 2 cameras. I can use up to 24 cameras. We can get remote feeds and everything. If I can get smart enough how to use this, and this is where we're going to be doing some stuff. I was talking to my man Barry today. We're going to be doing some stuff next season. We're going to have some Joe Boo designated trips to Dallas, where we're just basically trying to get as many of the fans and stuff together, and we get a whole block of the stadium and stuff together, and maybe even doing like a tailgate at FedEx Field for the Redskin Cowboy game. And hopefully by then I get that whole streaming kit where we can take this show just like this and be able to do this stuff remotely. So I'm excited about next year. I feel good about at least the players that we have in there. If we can get a few things right and get a few breaks, and maybe, just maybe, sometime in the near future, we can be challenging for that Super Bowl.
Oh, yes. And then, Mark, I already mentioned you to Barry as well with the draft and the Oxnard.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how we had to use our own resources to get out there? Now, guys, those is in the comment box, man. I behoove you guys to help us out with this. Go to www.cowboysexperience.com and just check out the website. Help us out. Let them know that Mark and Law sent you all there. And just think about this, Mark.
Yeah.
With that setup that you got, can you imagine us just with a little corner? We would have the field pass out there at Oxnard. And we have all these cameras. And I'm telling you, I can see it. that NFL Network be like, hey, who the hell are these guys? You know, can we go over there? Why are the players over there? You know,
that's what I'm talking about. You know, and you know the thing is I tried years ago to get a sideline pass, and they're like, we don't do that for YouTubers and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I made it my mission that somehow, some way, I'm gonna be on that sideline, and I'm gonna get a Dak. You see this shirt right here, right? You see this shirt. I'm gonna get an interview with Dak Prescott before it's all said and done.
Woo, and give him one of them shirts. Man, it's going to be nice.
He'll be up here in Chantilly for the autograph signing, so I'm going to definitely hand him one of these and say, Dak, you know, come on. You know, when everybody was cussing you out and everything, I was there supporting you every single step of the way. Hook a brother up. Can you hook a brother up?
Yes, indeed, man. That's going to be nice, Mark, man.
Yeah.
I just can't wait, man. So that and the Oxnard and the draft. And what you doing over there at the what you call it, cantina?
Yeah, the Lava Cantina.
Oh, you mean Lucky's? Going for the
Lucky's Sports Bar up here. Oh, then
that's Lucky Sports Bar.
That's where we're going to be doing a lot of broadcast stuff next year. And the autograph signing is up in Chantilly at the Expo Center.
Chantilly, yeah, I'm saying Cantilly. Chantilly.
Clarence Davis, thank you very much for the super chat. But with that being said, guys, we actually went into half-hour bonus time and stuff. Don't worry, it's the off season. I know it sucks that we're not still playing, but we won't be going anywhere because there's actually a whole lot to go on. We've got the league year starts in March, so between now and then, they got to figure out who's going to be free agents, who's going to get let go, what coaches. You know the Dallas Cowboys, there's always something going on. Today, we went from Jason Garrett saying he's coming back to walking it back to Stephen Jones not talking about it. You know, we're the Dallas Cowboys. There's always something to talk about. So thank you.